Hello, monsters abound here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Vortex Campaign, Part 9 of my Rakarth playthrough. Can't remember if he's a Beast Lord or Beast Master, it's not important now. We're too far gone.
Rakarth is supreme.
Indeed, well, we're actually doing pretty well. We've managed to secure this little corner of the map here, not looking too bad. We've got friends. I mean, they're not doing much yet, but they are potentially on their way to come and help us. I'm actually surprised we've managed to secure this much territory, considering how many elves we have levelled against us, but, you know, it's fine. I would like to take Pack Ice Bay, and I think that's my next move. Now, we do have walls pretty much everywhere. Elysia still doesn't have walls, but that's fine. We have the Drax's Rosethorn. I've also got Dementia Ravenborn here, of course, because, you know, it's all about the sad names. They think deep thoughts about death and shit because they're dark elves and are covered in spikes. And, you know, I guess death is an ever-present danger when you are, you know, covered head to toe in spikes. I mean, you're one trip away from just impaling yourself, aren't you, if you think about it? So you need to be careful. Anyway, so we're going to deal with... Yeah, well, you shouldn't sit on it like that. Anyway, so now, my brain is basically mush at this point. My little boy has a fever. He's not 2 yet. He's got a bit of a fever. He'll be fine, but it does mean he's not sleeping. And by not sleeping, I mean I got 3 hours of broken sleep last night. And my brain's mush. It's the kind of thing you would, I don't know, use to cover your driveway in. What does that even mean? I don't know. Why would you cover your driveway in brain matter unless you were a serial killer? And one that had no problem in advertising what you were. That's insane.
Bow before Rakarth.
Yeah, well, sure. Now, I'm hoping that the High Elves are going to be busy down there. So that's going to give us a chance to just whip into Pack Ice Bay and take it out. That's the plan anyway. Not sure if this plan will win out, but we shall see. I'm fairly sure we can hit that now. If you're laying siege to it, we can then hit them. And, I mean, let's face it, none of this here is going to be a problem for us. That's absolutely fine. We can easily take that. That'll secure the entire province for us, finally. And with any luck, Chaos Corruption will start going down. People will stop being as shitty as they are. And everyone will be happy, or at least happier. Oh. Looks like Mummy and Son have got a little bit closer. How nice. And, hello. Oh, shit.
Absurd.
Okay, we're going to have to...
All shall behold my...
It's probably fine. We're probably fine. We do have to... Do we have defences here? Yes. The first level ones. I'll take it.
Fear my malice.
I'll take it. Talking of taking things... Obsidian McBlackhearts. I could give you a Dark Pegasus. I don't know. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I could give you a Cold One Chariot. I just don't know. I don't know. Let's go Woundmaker. It's just the obvious choice.
Dreadlord of Nagara.
Okay, you're going to attack this. I don't need my allies to help.
Kill them. Pulling back.
So, oh, you could do this by yourself,
The
could
thrill
you?
of battle awaits.
I mean, you probably could actually. That would mean I could head back. Because I mean, the garrison here is not great. It looks like we. I feel like we can do this. I feel like we can do this, and then we won't need the assistance of... Yeah, okay.
Death and carnage await.
Okay, so full disclosure, I hadn't quite I mean, I knew they had a lot of troops. I didn't realise it was quite that many. I was like, oh, okay, we'll have to be a little bit careful of the flanks, but the flanks, yeah. Okay. We've got crossbows. That's the saving grace. Very much any early Dark Elf army, crossbows, right? The infantry's just there to hold the line for long enough for the crossbows to kill everyone. Like this. You see? You see? This is what we need. Now, we've got a Marauder Chieftain. The enemy general riding towards our line. Fortunately, our Stegodon is going to blunt that charge rather brutally. You know, you just don't win a charge against a Stegodon, do you? So you've got units wrapping around the flanks there very, very easily. Fortunately, our cold ones, the feral cold ones, have managed to sprint around the flank, drawing away some units, but not nearly enough. The Black Hawk says that the Hambos are just going to pull back a little bit. Our line is just trying to they're going to fend off, the Helibroni are going to fend off that big blob of enemy infantry. The enemy general, on the other hand, is terrified and running for his life. He did not do very well against that Stegodon. He got wrecked. Going to try and finish him off with the hand bows. To be honest, I should have concentrated fire on him. That would have been sensible. The Black Ark Bombardment coming in, doing some good damage there. But our poor Sisters of Slaughter, surrounded by big burly men. Fortunately, they're doing quite well. They're taking a lot of damage, but at the same time, they are murdering their way through everyone that comes anywhere near them. So far, so good. And the other hot spot is the Blades of the Blood Queen, who are, again, murdering their way through anyone who can get anywhere near them. The Feral Cold ones are rampaging around, and rampaging being the operative word, because as soon as they take any damage, they start rampaging and I lose control of them. That's why they're not as good as wolves. See, these guys, I can't do anything with them, and now they're going to get... See, wolves, I would have pulled these guys out, and we'd be sort of like flanking around, getting some flanking attacks, pulling units away, all that kind of good stuff. Can't do that with Feral Cold ones. They just lose their shit. They don't have the cool, despite being cold-blooded, of course. They're not bad at chasing down units, but they're no wolves. You know, I'm sorry. They're just not wolves. A little second wave approaching, but the crossbows have been laying down withering fire on anyone they can spot. Like this little blob over here, you can see they're just getting shot to pieces. The Helibroni giving their lives dearly to hold back the marauding hordes. So far, so good. The Sisters of Slaughter are up to 142 kills. I mean, Witch Elves are one of those units who just... The window of them being useful is so small that it's barely perceptible. But, you know, when you get them in the right place, they can really just slice and dice enemy infantry very, very well. And the Blades of the Blood Queen, they're the Executioners, of course, very, very good infantry, murdering their way through everything. We have managed to fend off most of the Marauders. Have some infantry still marauding around here. The Stegodon charging into the midst of them, and the crossbows finding the range. And there we go. Those crossbows just taking them apart very, very quickly. See the balance of power now firmly in my favour. And the last few Marauders now terrified of the Stegodon. I'm not surprised. That Feral Stegodon has just been barreling through them, causing a bit of a mass rout. And there they go. They're off. The Feral Cold ones trying to chase down as many units as possible, but to be honest, they're not very good at it. I mean, that was a lot closer than if we'd brought Rakarth in to join the party, but it does mean he's now free to... Now, we're just going to occupy this, because if we don't, then... Ooh, that's going to be close. That's going to be very close. I think we'll be alright.
Lord of the Black Court.
I think we'll be okay.
These thugs have met their match.
Well, maybe. Let's get the slave pens in there. Got... Oh, giant walls. Good, because the giant walls, let's face it, are better than the Feral Cold ones. I mean, the Feral Cold ones are fine, but they're not giant wolves, are they? Hey? They're just not giant wolves. Right, now we can skedaddle back here, because we've got multiple stacks now heading in this direction. Likelihood is this guy will suicide himself on Pack Ice Bay, which is fine.
They will surely turn upon me.
I think you're alright. Let's get Unstoppable. That'll help, and you guys are pretty molds. What do we have monster-wise? We do have another spiky hydra. Lots of harpies.
All shall behold my
Could
great...
get more... I kind of want more hydras, but more spiky hydras is good too. You know, can't argue with that. Right, let's get public order here, right? Now, Conquest is next turn only, so that'll be 10. However, after that, we should be stable. Plus, we'll get the 4 from that, so we should be fine. In theory, in theory, we're fine. All right, so everyone just be cool. Just be cool. Let's get the Soul Furnace, because that sounds pretty natty, doesn't it? Oh, I'm pleased with that. That was... I've been trying to take Pack Ice Bay for ages, but I just haven't had the army to spare. But now we've done it. Now it's done. And, I mean, Malekith is definitely strength rank 1 here. He has a lot of shits. He seems to be, like, dueling with the Skaven at the moment. Oh, there's Gorich. But I think he's managed to push them back to this little settlement over here. So I'm guessing that's... Little rebellion. I'm guessing that he should be, hopefully, moving on the High Elves fairly soon. Fingers crossed. Because, of course, in the Mortal Empires, he doesn't have much space to take. Like, he doesn't... Like, Nagron's quite squished, isn't it? So, he usually is attacking the High Elves quite early on. In the Vortex campaign, obviously, Nagron is much bigger. And so it takes him longer to sort of, like, capture it all and then start actually attacking Ulthuan, which is a problem for us because, obviously, we're dealing with predominantly the Elves at the moment. Although it does mean that, you know, we've captured this little corner. We don't have to worry about anything east of us, do we? So anything east of us is fine. Yes, I did think you'd do that. That's fine.
We will make them bleed. Enslave them.
So we should be... Yes, good. Supposedly ritual started. Don't care. Hello? Overseer. Overseer goods. All that kind of shenanigans. Right. I don't know what you're up to. But I wonder if I scooch down here. Stay a little ambush, see if we can lure you in. Once we get some defences here, we'll be fine. Trace hasn't bothered us recently, which is... It makes me nervous. It makes me nervous. I'm sure we're okay, but... I'm tempted to get another Black Ark. But I just don't know if that's the right... Is that the right choice? I don't know. Because I need another ground army, but the last one I tried to get another one. It just costs so much that I just gave up. Never mind. Right, great. I mean, Global Albion will be finished fairly soon. That's good. You don't have the growth, but you are hopefully growing soon. We can get the growth there. We have plenty of... I mean, I could do... Fuck it. Fuck it. A desperate... I mean, most of the time, I don't think it makes any fucking difference. Like, every time I've done an intervention before, it just does nothing. But we'll give it a shot. Ooh, a Martial Name of Power. Awesome, I love this. Right, what do we got? What do we got? Blessing of the Griefbringer. Discourage effect. Okay, or Fated Shield. Ward save. Okay, not the most interesting. I quite like the Discourage, though. Griefbringer. That sounds pretty emo, doesn't it?
Dreadlord of Nagaroth.
Indeed. He's got one too many spaces between his name, but I can't be bothered to fix that, so meh. Okay, public order would be nice, but let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do... I'm tempted to do this.
Be wary of Marathi's schemes.
Spellthirst and a Black Dragon. Fair enough.
Dragon Master.
I'm tempted to just replace my Sister of Slaughter with dragons and fuck it, let's do it.
Tamer of Dragons.
Yeah. Boop, boop.
Welcome to the pack.
We've got one do I want one Sister of Slaughter? It seems a bit silly, doesn't it? It seems a bit silly to have one Sister of Slaughter. What I could get a Stegiodon? I do. You know what? I quite like the harpies. I got rid of them, but I'm quite. Tell you what, we'll get rid of you.
The Beast Lord Ascendant.
And we'll get one of... I'm tempted to get rid of Mr. Chilly Willy.
We're going to need a bigger cage.
I'm also tempted to get rid of the Reaper Bolt Thrower. Because, like, I don't need it. This army's very on the attack, so...
For Karan Ka. Serve the Beast Lord.
There we go. That's what we're doing. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, good.
Bow.
Right, the fact they've just sailed right next door is good, because Alistair's rocked up. Good, more income. Fantastic. Got an overseer, all that kind of good stuff.
Master of all.
Let's go with... Oh, we've got all the spells, haven't we? We've got all of the spells. Okay, scouting it is. Alistair. So, Alistair was a Make-A-Wish Foundation character, and apparently the chap whose wish it was actually in remission. So that just happened to be up on Reddit the other day, and I read it and I was like, oh, that's fantastic news, really good news. So he's fine now, and Alistair continuing to be a pain in my ass. So there we go. There we go. Right, Harriet. That's someone who doesn't know how to spell Harriet, isn't it?
My beasts shall prevail.
Giant Eagle landing. Unfortunately for it, doesn't get the charge bonus it wants, and then the wolves turn and charge, and that eagle is getting munched on, no problem. Meanwhile, we know there's a unit of Silverhelms somewhere in the forest, and our wolves are playing close up to just skirting around. We don't want to get charged by them. The harpies, on the other hand, should be pretty good at pinning them down. There comes the fire breath from all of our monsters, and here comes the Silverhelms. You can see we hit them in the flank with the harpies, so they don't get their charge bonus, and then the wolves come sweeping down, and those Silverhelms are super dead. Talking of things that are super dead, here comes our dragon, our flying squads, and a lot of dragon breath. It's pandemonium in the elf army, as there's dragons, spiky hydras all over the place. This army is not really equipped to deal with this level of stuff. This isn't a battle, this is a slaughter. We really have reached Peak Rakarth. Would Peak Rakarth be all black dragons? I feel like having some hydras is probably a good shout. I don't know, I mean the spiky hydras are pretty good. I quite like the normal hydras as well, but you know, I'm not precious about it, it's fine. The walls are swept in behind, just knocking out those units there. And last few units breaking. I can't blame them, to be honest. That was a slaughter. As soon as the dragons had arrived, that battle was over. And now it's just munchy time for the wolves, although of course this army's dead anyway because they were marching. Wolves are so much better at killing running units than feral cold ones. So much better.
We have failed. We are broken.
You fought well, my beasts.
Harriet, on the other hand,
More
not so
slaves for
much.
Karan Ka.
And down you
Land.
go. We got another spiky hydra and a blood banner.
Bow before Rakar.
Okay, if I scooch over here...
Unwise.
Well, I don't think it is. Now, you can lay siege.
Certainly not.
I don't think you can... you do have any... You could attack. I don't think you will.
Rakar does not fail.
I hope you don't. Anyway, speed for a bunch of stuff would be quite nice. Should we do that? Sadistic handlers. A little bit of sadism never hurt anyone. Let's...
The people grow restless.
Oh, God, when don't they? Okay,
Certainly not.
what are you up to?
Dread Lord of the Druki.
Can you come and attack Alicia, please? Right, public order here is fine due to... Okay, so if I leave,
Lord of the Black Cord.
we should be okay. +3, that's fine. That's fine.
Fear my
Because that should just be getting better.
I approve of these dark,
Okay, you stay here for the moment. We will upgrade you.
murderous lord.
Witness my strength.
Should be able to bop you. And at some point we're going to want to do vortex rituals. But once... Good, you didn't attack. That's perfect. We can now hit you from behind? What was I trying to say there? Behind. And wipe you out. I don't think you give me any special trait, but I could be wrong. Hello? You're going to attack Alicia, are you?
Slaughter calls us. Pile the bodies high.
Not very sensible.
Enslave them.
Yes. Let us do that. Yeah, I think someone said that the AI is basically blind to black arcs in settlements, and I don't think they're wrong.
Beasts. Rampage.
Hello there? Oh, don't run away. We were just chatting.
Tear them apart.
Hello there. There's almost no
Show
point.
neither mercy or respect.
Oh, because of course we get the garrison coming in as well. I'll just auto resolve that one because my harpies. Oh well.
Send them to Slaver's Gate.
Easy come, easy go. More harpies, perfect. I'll replace the ones that died.
Tremble before a car.
Oh, we could get another spiky hydra. You know what? I'm gonna get the harpies. The harpies are quite good at charging cavalry, because cavalry can't get a charge on them. They can get, so they basically lock the cavalry in. The cavalry doesn't get the charge, and then of course, you know, we can countercharge with our wolves, which is, as we've seen, quite effective. Upkeep reduction for the entire army is going to reduce that a little bit, which is good. Keep us a little. I mean, that makes, we could probably get another army now. So let's get Wild Hearts.
Their obedience is in question.
And I'm tempted to give you a Dark Pegasus because we've got a big flying force now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's what we're doing. Okay, public order here is, for the first time in ages, stable, and Chaos Corruption is dropping down to 15%.
Black-hearted.
Which is good. Now, what am I going to do with you? What's my plan here? What are we doing? So, we could go, I mean, there's no settlements up the coast. We could come down here, but that's not really helping us that much. I kind of wouldn't mind keeping them like at arm's reach down here. Maybe I want to go and hoover up some bits and pieces, but do I actually want to do that? Do I actually want to do that? I don't know. I think what I need is another army. We've got plenty of money. We need an... Now, I'm tempted to get a Supreme Sorceress. Like, disciplined. Confidence, not bad. Because that extra 10% weapon strength, of course, especially if we're going to go, you know, quite a few monsters. Quite potent. So we could do that. But disciplined, on the other hand, you know, a little bit more melee attack does mean our monsters are going to hit more often. Oh, you know, I probably want to go Beastmaster, don't I, really? Let's be honest here. Strategist isn't the worst. Danar, I think we've had before. Okay, let's get. I mean, we don't have to pay for him again.
High Beastmaster.
Oh, you're super cranky.
The beasts arrive.
Yeah, well, sure.
Into the pen.
If I give you something, if I give you stuff, is that going to make you happy? Like, you can have a Cloak of Hagrief, you can have a Berserker Sword. What about an Obsidian Trinket, a Potion of Foolhardiness? You know, still one. Okay, well, I mean, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll get you in here. It's all going to be fine.
Lord of the Druki.
Don't worry about it.
They know I am superior.
the Draxus. Let's get loose. It's going to give your shades a little boost there, which will be quite nice, like that. So, what do Beastmasters get abilities, don't they? And what do they get on top of... So, melee attack for cold ones, meh, nah, that's not interesting. Melee attack for War Hydra and Spiky Hydras, that's okay. Melee attack for Black Dragons, not bad. Melee defense for monstrous units. I'm okay with that. That seems fine. Good. Now, as long as he doesn't rebel, of course. He might rebel. Hopefully we're okay. I'm not going to do a ritual, because that would be bonkers. Actually, if I move you up here... and do that, then you can recruit from this as well, can't you? So... we could do something like that just to like fill out your stack. Hopefully he doesn't rebel. If he does, then obviously we'll have to kill him. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Good. No, Dinar, you're okay. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Hi, Beastmaster.
Back to 5. He's loyal again. Huzzah! I mean, you know, his other option would be death, so good shout. Let's get the Empowered Ogham Stones. Let's do something like that. And I would like more sorceresses, so let's do something like that. What else? What else do we want? If we go... I mean, I do need something to offset this corruption. And this would give us the Canine Assassin and the Death Hag. We can now get rid of that. And that. And potentially, if we get the temple... eventually we can get rid of the fighting pits. We can get them all slated. I mean, money is looking pretty good. We've spent a lot of money, but I think we can probably push southward. I think I'm feeling ballsy enough to be like, let's go for it. Did my intervention do anything? Oh, there's my intervention army. Okay, the answer is yes. Apparently it has. Oh, and it looks like...
Sorceress of the Dark Convent.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't need to know about that. The Dark Elves have landed. Holy shit. Okay, good. Good. This is good. What I want to do is get the Shrine of Cain. So this is probably what we... So, Dinar is going to have to recruit... you know, a horde of nasties. Do we get the 259 each? But then, you know, spears are trash, aren't they? So, meh.
I have control.
That is not a bad fighting force. I mean, it's not the best fighting force in the world, but it's, you know, it'll get the job done, especially if we have a Black Ark in support. So we will keep the Draxus down here to protect us. You can have a cold one. And then Dinar and Roveron can advance on the Shrine of Cain, because this is where we're going to get the Scrolls of Hecate. So we want the Scrolls of Hecate. Where else are there Scrolls of Hecate? Are there any others on this bloody island? Gee, is that it? God damn. Not even at White Tower of Hoeth? Nothing? Alright, well, we definitely need the Shrine of Cain then. So we'll get that. I mean, each settlement we have does give us Scrolls of Hecate. So we're currently generating 19 a turn, which is fine. We'll get more with the Ogham Stones upgraded. That's going to give us 15. And then we can get more here. So we'll do that. We might... I mean, you know what? It's not too bad. You know, we're actually not looking too bad. We might be able to catch them up. Obviously, if they beat us to the end battle, it's not the end of the world, because then we have to fight a very easy battle to stop them. But that's fine. But if we could, you know, increase the rates that we're getting the Scrolls of Hecate, that can only be a good thing. But that is going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.